So, guys, we're going to be talking about Vox, and for obvious reasons, because they went through and actually made an article several months ago where they were talking about the most extreme creators on YouTube. So you're probably wondering why we're talking about this. What's the deal? Well, you can obviously guess, as you can see from the image, that Alex Jones was mentioned on this list. And very interesting, a day or two ago, they actually retweeted this list out to turn around and say, it's not just Alex Jones, YouTube's most extreme creators are pushing the platform into a tough debate and censorship and free speech on the internet. Now, obviously, I don't believe the fact that the extreme creators are pushing for censorship. I think that's the left, but, you know, they can't own up to anything, so regardless. But the reason why we're going to be talking about this is because these people on this list, these could be the canary in the gold mines. They already have Alex gone. So, yeah, people are sitting around at the moment talking about the possibility that it actually might be, this is a list of people that they will be going after after they've gone through and done Alex. So we're going to talk about it, and obviously, guys, I am joined with Satellite of Discontent once again.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Well, I'm good, mate.
That's good.
How about
Yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, we're basically going to go through and just talk about what the possibility is, and basically just, yeah, talk about how this might be the canary in the coal mine that everybody could be worrying about. So who are the creators that I've mentioned, and who's on this list? So going by the images, Stefan Molyneux is obviously up in the top left. Lauren Southern, future waifu, is in the top center. Hunter Avalon is the guy that's in the top right. Then we got Gavin McInnes in the middle on the right. Mike Dice in the middle. And in the middle left, we have Steven Crowder. And then obviously in the bottom left, we have InfoWars. Bottom middle is Luke Wadowski from We Are Change. And Paul Joseph Watson is also on the far right of the image, that is, by the way. But yeah, like I say, look, at the end of the day, the interesting thing that I found with this image, or this selection of the done, is that it's pretty much across the board. So say Stefan Molyneux, say he's right. Lauren Southern is definitely right. Hunter Avalon would say definitely conservative, so he's right. Gavin is right. Mark Dice is right. Steven Crowder is right. InfoWars is right. Luke Wadowski is actually a centrist. And I would definitely put him in the center. And Paul Joseph Watson, while he works for InfoWars, he is also a libertarian. So, I don't know, you want to say conservative, maybe? So, yeah, Luke Wadowski is really the odd one out here. And I don't think half of these people are extreme. Like,
no.
Luke Wadowski criticizes Trump a lot more than I even do. Gavin McInnes, I haven't seen any of his content in ages because it's normally always behind a firewall or paywall. Lauren Southern, obviously, I'm familiar with her content. Stefan Molyneux, I'm familiar with his content. Crowder, I'm familiar. But these guys, the biggest thing that they all seem to share is they all talk about immigration, to be honest.
Yeah. And one of the things to also note is that, especially if you watch Steven Crowder regularly, you'll see that the media try to paint all these people as alt-right, which they are not. They are right, not alt-right. And they're big on making that distinction well known.
Yeah.
Or trying to, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing about that as well, and so that's something I was going to get to. Richard Spencer's not on this list. None of the alt-right guys are on this list.
Yeah, and I think that would be because the alt-right doesn't have nearly as much audience as right-wing.
So you reckon it's more of a popular thing than it is about...
Yes. Yeah, they're trying to go after the heavy hitters first.
Well, Hunter Avalon, I'm not sure how many subs he has. I could probably check that out very quickly. I'd say Paul Joseph Watson has over 1 million. Luke Wadowski has about 600,000. Infowars had 2.5. Mike Dice has about over 1 million. Stephen Crowder has over 1 million. Yeah, I would say this is the 500 plus club, to be honest.
Yeah, the 500 plus club. They're going to go after them first, and that's the thing. It's the right is basically conservatives, and the alt right. I think they probably assume that taking down the right, the conservatives, is going to slow down the filter through that goes into alt right. There's a very small percentage of people that adopt conservative views through YouTube. A small percentage sort of filter on to alt right content creators. So it's like the gatekeeper thing. They take down the 500 plus club.
But anyway,
yeah, they take down the 500 plus club, and that would drastically kill the growth of everything else.
Well,
it's probably what they think.
I have quickly just checked for people playing at home. You may have heard it. I have checked. Hunter Avalon is 528,000. So he's also over 500. So it's definitely the over 500 plus club. But yeah, I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, if any of these people get bumped off next and I was on this list, I would be kind of scared, to be honest. This seems like it's a hit list. This is them virtual signaling to their group to go and mass flag or Twitter or whatnot to go through and remove these accounts. Half of these people don't even have Twitter accounts anymore. Like, this is the Wellian shit. This is basically them turning around saying, we do not like your views, and like I said, the one thing they all have in common is immigration.
That's true. One of the things that you'll also see is the left definitely believes in this whole like internet, like an internet score, kind of like your public score. For example, the way that if you pay a fine because you are driving over a certain speed, you lose points, and it affects you. And so, when it comes to censorship, they would see that if you are unfit for Twitter, then you should be also unfit for everything else. So,
well, actually, I was thinking it's more the fact that these people have probably had their accounts mass flagged.
Sure. Just one of the things that the Orwellian future would hold is that you would be linked up in some way, like an internet, public score of things. So, if you are controversial enough to get kicked off Facebook, then they would believe that you should be kicked across all platforms all at once.
Well, they could always just go through Steve Shive's spam list. That'd be a good list of all the conservatives on the internet.
Oh, that's true. That would be probably in the hundreds of thousands, yeah. I'm on that list.
I am too, actually. Although, when I first started out as my YouTube channel, he had no idea who he was. So I kept tweeting at him every few days to turn around and say that I wanted him to ban me. I wanted him to block me. I felt left out until he blocked me. I just kept stirring him until he finally blocked me. So, yeah. But look at
I've never actually tweeted him, and I was banned.
Yeah, they have a shared list that goes around, so yeah, but anyway. But what I was going to say was, look, at the end of the day, this is very Llewellyn. This is kind of scary, the fact that they've gone through and they've made a list of people they do not agree with. And this is what this is. This is a list of people who Vox News does not like. We do not like your personal opinion. We do not like what you say. Therefore, we find your speech hateful. Therefore, it's hate speech. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's a hit list. That's all it is. And like I say, it has nothing to do with politics, because like Stephen Crowder, say Republican, say conservative, maybe centre right maybe. But Luke Wadowski is centrist. He's a centrist. Paul Joseph Watson is actually a liberal. Sure, he works for InfoWars, but this seems to be more about popular and opinions of people's popularity. It's like, well, hey, if we can go through and get rid of these big YouTube creators, then, maybe we'll get some of the views. But it's not going to work like that, really, because, yeah, but anyway. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Would you say that there is such a thing as hate speech at all?
No. Not really. At the end of the day, hate speech is just something that you do not like. So, yeah. I don't care what it is that you say, it still comes under freedom of speech, unless it's obviously threats or something like that. So, First Amendment rules apply, but at the end of the day, yeah, no, I don't. Look, it's your choice whether you want to sit there and listen to it or not, but no, I would say probably not. I would say it all comes under First Amendment rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we need is the Internet Bill of Rights as well as freedom of speech adopted across all of the Western world. And probably the most important thing that we do need to have a conversation about, and I think we need to do this in the public space, like on television, is to get this idea of what exactly is hate speech. And we need to draw up a very hard line, you know,
we don't.
what exactly is it.
I would disagree with you on that. I would disagree with you on that. If we go start caving in and giving them hate speech, then it's just going to be a very slippery slope.
Well, that's what I mean by the hard line, because what we have to go is that if you sit there and advocate for violence, then that would be illegal.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But that comes under Bill of Rights, First Amendment laws. That's what I say. Freedom of speech is, my personal view, freedom of speech is basically the same thing as freedom of speech in America. You can't make threats, you can't go calling fire in a crowded theatre or anything like that, but at the end of the day, you can't have a problem with someone. Well, you can't claim that someone is not having the right to speak because he might use profanity or racial slang or whatever it may be. I mightn't like those words, but at the end of the day, that is protected by the First Amendment, so therefore it is allowed. So
fair enough. I would say that there is some kind of hate speech, I suppose, but I kind of just go into it. It has to be very pedantically written in law. We're going to need some hell of a philosophy around it.
They're going to shift it.
No, it would have to be hard line, and and part of that law is that it cannot be adjusted for the future.
Yeah, but then you get, like, for example, the American Constitution, where the First Amendment, First and Second Amendment, they're even trying to go through now and claim that when the First Amendment, Second Amendment were written, that the Americans have the right to bear arms, that at the end of the day they didn't think technology, and they always try and shift the line. I would say no. I would say no to hate speech. Just don't give them that. Do not even give them that beachhead. Say no, fuck off. No, not going to happen. You have freedom of speech. As long as you're not threatening someone or something like that, First Amendment rules apply. As long as you're not breaking those First Amendment rules, and you have the right to freedom of speech.
Well, if you want to go as hard as you, then you have to actually say specifically that as long as you're not calling for imminent violence.
Yeah.
Because then they can use the fact, you're calling for violence in the future. So if you want to go as hard as what you are about it, then you got to watch it on that word as well. It has to be specifically as long as you're not calling for imminent violence.
Yeah, that's what I say. First Amendment rules. So whatever the First Amendment rules are for freedom of speech. How am I more extreme on this than you?
It's interesting that
But anyway, but guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think these creators on this Vox list are going to be going through, and any of these are going to be next? Do you think that we might see Lauren Southern disappear off YouTube, or Stefan Molyneux, or Hunter Avalon? Oh God, please don't be Lauren. But look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.